Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So it seems as though royals abroad and overseas have taken stock of what Meghan and Harry have done, and a lady called Princess Sophia of Sweden, who has a very similar background to Meghan Markle, has pretty much thrown Meghan under the bus and thrown some shade at her actions while being a royal and her new royal status and how she has treated the British royal family since joining the firm. And the title is Princess Sophia of Sweden reveals she would never want to have her own Megxit because she appreciates the huge opportunities of being in the royal family. Now, I don't know if it can get shadier than that, but I applaud her for speaking out and actually speaking like a true princess and a true representative of the common everyday people. So the article goes on to say Princess Sophia of Sweden has said she would never want a version of Megxit to happen within her royal family, stating she has found such a fantastic balance. And it seems as though she has found a fantastic balance. She was pictured during the lockdown helping out in their national health service in Sweden, and she was actually working as a medical practitioner on the ward. She was, mucking in with the common everyday man. And this is the type of lady that Harry should have married, but unfortunately he didn't. He married someone who wanted to climb the greasy Hollywood pole. So she's 35 years old, and the article carries on to say the 35-year-old royal, who is married to Prince Carl Philip of Sweden, 41, shared her thoughts in a documentary titled Princess Sophia Project Playground, which aired on Swedish channel TV4. According to the Royal Central, when asked about whether she would ever consider following the lead of the Duke, 35, and the Duchess of Sussex, 39, 43, the former model said, "No, not really. I think I have found such a fantastic balance, and I really see it as a positive that I've made it through these stormy years. It is such a huge advantage in that we have the opportunity to stand a little in both worlds." And what a nice thing for someone of privilege to say, to actually show appreciation to the people and to have such humility with so much wealth around her, unlike some people. So it carries on to say, in another stage in a documentary which followed the former reality star in January, and this lady comes from extremely humble beginnings, similar to Meghan Markle. She was trying to make it in the entertainment industry in Sweden, I believe, and she was on a reality TV show. She did not get something as big as Suits, but she was trying. So it says here, at another stage in the documentary which followed the former reality star in January visiting Cape Town, South Africa, where she worked as a volunteer and aid worker as a teenager, she discussed having an identity crisis when she became a royal. She said, "Since I became a princess, I have been through many identity crises. Here in South Africa, I have a type of identity, and when I come home, I have something else. And I imagine it is hard transitioning from being a really normal person to then being a senior member of a royal firm with so much customs and being steeped in so much tradition and having so many requirements placed upon yourself that you didn't have before. You could just walk down the street as a normal person. You could say what you wanted to say. You could have political opinions. We know that Meghan Markle made zero effort to really make that transition. She just simply didn't try and didn't want to be a part of it. She just wanted to get in, push out a kid, bag her prince and get out and run to Hollywood. That's exactly what she's done. It's rather tacky and embarrassing, but that's what she's done. This lady, on the other hand, has really tried to make that adjustment and find that balance, as has Kate. She was from common stock. she's tried to make that adjustment. So it carries on to say here I am, allowed to be who I want to be. Princess Sophia has much in common with Meghan, with neither having any royal connections when they met their princes, Harry and Carl Philip, and leaving behind the showbiz world for a rather more sedate life. So there's a picture here of her in a nurse's uniform serving at a hospital, and underneath the caption says the royal, who worked in hospitals in Sweden during the pandemic, shared her thoughts on a documentary, which she did, and I remember this picture went viral, and I feel so saddened by it. Why can't we have a nice, lovely lady like this to join the British Royal Institution? It would certainly not be in tatters and on the verge of being turned into a republic and coming to a very watery end as it stands. Now, I feel like the Queen has some kind of control, but I don't know anymore. I don't even know if the Queen is really looking at this situation. She's probably more focused on her husband Philip and his ailing health and keeping herself healthy. They have that health scare with Prince Charles, and I just feel like they've given up. But if they give up, the very glue of what holds the royal institution together is dead, gone. And it's really quite tragic. It's very unfortunate that with one bad egg, the whole house can come tumbling down. So the article carries on to say Sophia dated her husband for 5 years before walking down the aisle in 2015. Lovely. So you can see that they really did take their time to get to know each other, something that Harry and Meghan really didn't do. He dated her for 15 months and then they got engaged. So he went ahead for guns blazing and married someone who essentially none of us knew, including himself. And this is the end result. I don't understand for the life of me why Harry acted so desperately. Yep, his hair is thinning, but that's not a reason to act desperate. When you are a royal, you are a prince. I definitely think that Meghan must have played on his insecurities and his possibly lack of self-esteem. I don't know what happened, but he's definitely been manipulated. He's lost friends. He has cut off his only brother pretty much. He has no connection to his own country of birth, and he's now running around in Hollywood calling Doria his mum. It's quite tragic. So I'm going to carry on here. They share 2-year-old son, Prince Alexandra, Duke of Södermanland, I hope I'm saying that correctly, or Maniland, and 1-year-old Prince Gabriel, Duke of Dalarna, who are 5th and 6th in line to the Swedish throne. Before marrying the prince, Sophia was a model and reality TV contestant. So she came from humble beginnings like Meghan, and she dropped all of that and traded it in for a nice, cushy royal life. And who doesn't want that? What little girl doesn't want to be a princess and get paid to show up and do speeches? Who wants to have their elbows deep with sweat and mud and grit when they can just pretty much be a princess for the people and serve the firm? That clearly wasn't enough for Megxit. Anyway, so it carries on to say, while Sophia never quite reached Meghan's level of celebrity, she had a taste of fame on a smaller level when she starred in the Swedish reality show Paradise Hotel. She made it through to the final of the Love Island Meets Survivor type show, featuring a group of singles living at a luxury hotel, which featured a now infamous scene in which she was seen kissing 41-year-old American porn star Jenna Jameson. So she's had some scandal behind her. She's put that to rest and she's moved forward with her life. Meanwhile, Meghan caught the acting bug early, landing her first gig in a role in the daytime soap General Hospital and roles in the sci-fi drama Fringe, 90210 and CSI. Now, I used to watch 90210, but I never caught the episode that she was in, so she clearly didn't have a major role because I watched quite a bit of that and I never ever saw her. Carries on to say she also spent a year on the US version of Deal or No Deal as one of its popular suitcase girls. Sophia's comments come months after she started working in hospital to help Sweden fight against COVID, the COVID. The royal took a 3-day medical course at Sophia, and I'm not making it up, University College in Stockholm, where she is an honorary chair member in April and has been helping with efforts ever since. Meanwhile, the Duke and Duchess, who recently bought a $14 million mansion in Santa Barbara, have stepped into Hollywood after ditching royal duties in March. That's exactly what they did. Last week, the couple revealed they had a new deal with Netflix to provide hope and inspiration, which is believed to be worth as much as $150 million. So there you have it. A lot of people globally are taking notice of the disrespect that Meghan and Harry have shown the British nation and the lack of gratitude that they have shown the British people, and they are passing judgment naturally on how they've acted, how appallingly they've acted, how disgustingly they've treated us, how hard done by the British public have been by the wrath of Meghan and Harry. It's quite tragic. And it's sad, and I'm so grateful to see royals like this who do still exist. She's definitely like Kate Middleton. She has a humility about her. She's grateful for the opportunities that have been presented to her by joining the institution and the firm, and they're lucky to have her. She sounds like a lovely lady. And I just, for the life of me, can't understand why Harry couldn't find someone nice. But maybe Harry was always this. Maybe he was always ungrateful. Maybe he was always conceited. Maybe he always wanted to, stick the finger up at the UK and do a runner, because that's exactly what he's been doing for the last 2.5 years now, hasn't it been? Anyway, guys, I'm going to go. Those are the updates. She threw shade. Good on you, Sophia. What more can we really say? It's quite tragic. I'll be back with another video, guys. Bye.